Welcome to Echoes of the City. Today we invite you on a haunting journey through New York City's shadowy past. From the notorious crime syndicates that ruled the streets during the Prohibition era to the chilling tales of infamous serial killers who terrorized its neighborhoods, this video reveals the darker side of one of the world's most iconic cities. Have you ever wondered how the crack epidemic transformed entire communities in the 1980s? Or how corruption seeped into the very fabric of the city's politics, impacting countless lives? We'll explore these gripping stories and more, uncovering the secrets that lie beneath the surface of the city that never sleeps. So buckle up and prepare for a deep dive into the gritty history of New York. You won't want to miss what we have in store. Stay tuned as we pull back the curtain on the crime, controversy, and resilience that define the Big Apple. New York City. A name that conjures images of towering skyscrapers, bustling streets, and a ceaseless flow of people. It's a place where dreams are born and ambitions are realized. A metropolis of boundless energy. The city pulses with life, from the early morning joggers in Central Park to the late-night revelers in the clubs of the meatpacking district. Every corner of this city is alive with activity, a testament to its nickname, the city that never sleeps. But beneath its glittering facade, a darker history lurks. The neon lights and bustling streets often mask the shadows that have always been a part of New York's story. The city's narrative is interwoven with tales of crime, corruption, and chaos. From the notorious gangs of the early 20th century to the organized crime syndicates that have left their mark, New York has seen it all. From the five-point slums of the 19th century to the crack-ravaged neighborhoods of the 1980s, darkness has always found a foothold. These periods of turmoil have shaped the city's character, leaving indelible marks on its history. New York's story is one of constant struggle. The fight for justice, equality, and a better life has been a recurring theme. Protests and movements have risen from its streets, echoing the voices of those who demand change. It's a battle between the forces of light and shadow, progress and regression. The gleaming towers of Wall Street stand in stark contrast to the dark alleys where the city's less fortunate struggle to survive. The city's allure has always attracted dreamers and schemers alike. Immigrants arriving at Ellis Island with hopes of a new beginning and ambitious individuals seeking to make their mark in the world. This heady mix has fueled both unprecedented success and devastating downfall. The stock market booms and crashes, fortunes are made and lost, and through it all, the city remains a beacon of opportunity. The echoes of violence and vice still resonate. Modern-day crime scenes remind us that the city's darker elements are never far away, a constant undercurrent to its vibrant surface. They whisper from the forgotten corners of subway stations and the shadows of towering skyscrapers. These whispers tell stories of a city that is always on the edge, balancing between its glorious achievements and its hidden fears. These whispers tell a story of a city grappling with its demons, striving for redemption. Graffiti-covered walls speak of rebellion and resilience, while moments of reflection in Central Park offer a glimpse of hope and renewal. But through it all, New York endures. The city has faced unimaginable challenges, from the devastation of 9/11s to economic downturns, yet it always finds a way to rebuild and move forward. It rebuilds, it reinvents itself, it rises from the ashes. New buildings spring up alongside historic structures, a testament to the city's ability to honor its past while embracing the future. The city's spirit, like its inhabitants, remains unbroken. New Yorkers go about their daily lives with a resilience and determination that is truly inspiring. Celebrations in the streets, whether for a sports victory or a cultural festival, showcase the city's unyielding spirit and sense of community. The roar of the roaring 20s, jazz-filled smoky speakeasies, flappers danced, defying prohibition. The city was alive with a new kind of energy, a rebellious spirit that thrived in the underground clubs and hidden bars. The music was loud, the drinks were strong, and the nights seemed endless. It was a time of liberation and excess, where the rules were meant to be broken, and the good times rolled on without a care in the world. But beneath the surface, a sinister power grew organized crime. As the city danced and drank, the mob was quietly tightening its grip. In the shadows, deals were made, money exchanged hands, and a new kind of order was established. This was an order built on fear and violence, where loyalty was bought and betrayal was met with swift retribution. The intoxicating cocktail of illegal booze, gambling, and vice proved irresistible to the city's criminal underworld. Speakeasies became the epicenters of illicit activity, where fortunes were won and lost in a single night. The allure of easy money and the thrill of the forbidden drew in all kinds of characters, from small-time hustlers to ambitious gangsters looking to make a name for themselves. Names like Lucky Luciano and Al Capone became synonymous with power and ruthlessness. These men were more than just criminals. They were icons of an era, their names whispered in fear and awe. They built their empires with a combination of cunning, brutality, and an uncanny ability to stay one step ahead of the law. Their stories became legends, tales of ambition and treachery that would be told for generations. These men built empires on vice, their influence reaching into every facet of city life. From the back rooms of speakeasies to the highest offices of power, their reach was vast and their control absolute. They manipulated markets, controlled unions, and even had politicians in their pockets. The city's very fabric was woven with threads of corruption and crime. From the bustling docks to the corridors of power, the mob's grip tightened. They controlled the flow of goods, the movement of people, and the decisions of those in power. The docks were their lifeline, a place where illegal goods could be smuggled in and out with ease. In the government buildings, their influence was felt in every decision, every law passed, and every official appointed. Turf wars erupted in bloody violence. Rival gangs fought for control of the lucrative territories, each skirmish leaving a trail of bodies in its wake. The streets became battlegrounds where the sound of gunfire was a common occurrence and the sight of blood-stained sidewalks was all too familiar. Innocent bystanders often found themselves caught in the crossfire, victims of a war they had no part in. Tommy guns roared on street corners, leaving behind a trail of fear and bloodshed. These weapons of war became symbols of the mob's power, their rapid-fire bursts a reminder of the deadly consequences of crossing the wrong people. The sound of a Tommy gun was enough to send shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it. A chilling reminder of the violence that lurked just around the corner. The city became a battleground, controlled by men who lived by their own code of violence and loyalty. These were men who valued honor above all else, who would kill for their friends and die for their family. Their code was strict, their punishments severe, and their loyalty unwavering. They patrolled their neighborhoods with a watchful eye, always ready to defend their turf from any threat. The shadow of organized crime stretched far and wide. It was a dark cloud that hung over the city, casting a pall over its dreams and aspirations. No corner was untouched, no life unaffected. The mob's influence was felt in every decision, every transaction, and every interaction. It was a presence that could not be ignored, a force that shaped the very essence of the city. It corrupted officials, exploited the vulnerable, and cast a pall over the city's dreams. The mob's reach extended into the highest echelons of power, where bribes and threats ensured their continued dominance. Meanwhile, the most vulnerable members of society were left to suffer, their lives controlled by forces they could neither understand nor escape. The city's dreams of prosperity and progress were overshadowed by the grim reality of corruption and exploitation. The legacy of this era would continue to haunt New York for decades to come. The scars left by the mob's reign of terror would take generations to heal, and the stories of those dark days would be passed down through the years. The city would eventually rise above its troubled past, but the memory of the mob's grip would remain, a reminder of a time when fear and violence ruled the streets. The 1980s, a decade of excess and anxiety, and for New York City, a descent into a nightmare fueled by a new and insidious drug, crack cocaine. Like a wildfire, crack spread through the city's most vulnerable communities, leaving devastation in its wake. Neighborhoods once vibrant were transformed into open-air drug markets. The crack epidemic ravaged families, fueled violence, and decimated entire communities. The despair was palpable, etched on the faces of those caught in the relentless grip of addiction. The city's murder rates soared dramatically. Turf wars between rival drug gangs turned entire neighborhoods into war zones. Innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire became tragic casualties in a conflict that seemed to have no end. The crack epidemic exposed the deep-seated inequalities that plagued New York. It highlighted the city's struggle with poverty, racial disparity, and the lack of opportunity that fueled the cycle of despair. The city that never sleeps also became a hunting ground for some of the most notorious serial killers in American history. The bustling streets, filled with life and energy during the day, transformed into shadowy labyrinths at night where danger lurked around every corner. Their crimes terrorized New York, creating an atmosphere of fear that permeated every borough. The city's residents, who once felt invincible amidst the urban chaos, now found themselves looking over their shoulders, wary of the unknown threats that could be hiding in plain sight, leaving an indelible scar on the city's psyche. David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, became a name synonymous with terror. He terrorized the city in the summer of 1976. His seemingly random shootings, which often took place in the dead of night, often targeting young couples in parked cars, turned the simple act of sitting in a car into a potential death sentence. The fear was palpable, and the city was gripped by a collective paranoia, fueled a climate of fear and paranoia. People avoided going out at night, and the once bustling streets became eerily quiet. The city held its breath, waiting for the next attack. The city held its breath until Berkowitz was finally apprehended. His capture brought a sense of relief, but the scars of his reign of terror remained. Then came Joel Rifkin, the Long Island serial killer. His gruesome crimes, targeting sex workers, shocked the city in the 1990s. Rifkin's methodical approach and the sheer brutality of his acts left the city reeling, shocked the city in the 1990s. The discovery of his victims, often in remote and desolate locations, painted a grim picture of the dangers lurking in the shadows. Rifkin's case exposed the vulnerability of marginalized communities, highlighting the dangers faced by those living on the fringes of society. The city's most vulnerable residents became easy targets for predators like Rifkin and the often overlooked victims of violence. The city mourned the loss of these lives, and vigils were held to honor the victims and raise awareness about the dangers they faced. These killers and others like them exploited the anonymity that the city provided. The vastness of New York, with its millions of residents and countless hiding places, became a playground for those with sinister intentions. Preyed on the city's anonymity. They blended into the crowds, becoming invisible in the sea of faces. The city's size, which once provided a sense of security, now became a double-edged sword. They exploited the vastness of New York, using its complexity to their advantage. The labyrinthine streets and bustling intersections provided the perfect cover for their heinous acts. Disappearing into the crowds after committing their heinous acts, the city's residents, once confident in their ability to navigate the urban jungle, now felt a sense of vulnerability. Their crimes served as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of any metropolis. The city that never sleeps was forced to confront the reality that danger could be hiding in plain sight, and that even in the most vibrant and bustling of places, shadows could conceal the darkest of intentions. Despite the darkness that has at times enveloped New York City, its spirit remains unbroken. The city has faced its demons head-on, emerging stronger each time. The resilience of New Yorkers is legendary. They band together in times of crisis, supporting each other and finding strength in unity. After the terror of the son of Sam and the horror of the Long Island serial killer, the city didn't just heal, it evolved. Community initiatives sprang up, aiming to make the streets safer and offer support to those in need. Neighborhood watch groups became more vigilant, and the police force adopted new strategies to combat crime. The city learned from its past, using those dark times as lessons to build a brighter future. The stories of survival and resilience are countless. From the brave individuals who stood up against crime to the tireless efforts of community leaders, New York City has shown that it can rise above any challenge. The city's cultural tapestry, woven from countless backgrounds and stories, is a testament to its enduring spirit. In the face of adversity, New Yorkers have always found a way to reclaim their city, making it a place of hope and opportunity once more. The labyrinthine streets that once concealed danger now echo with the sounds of life and laughter. The city's size, once a hiding place for predators, has become a stage for resilience and renewal. As we reflect on the shadows that have passed, we also celebrate the light that continues to shine. New York City, with all its complexities and contradictions, remains a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of community and the human spirit. Thank you for joining us on this captivating journey through the dark side of New York. If you found these stories intriguing, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think can be done to tackle the issues we discussed? Share your insights in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of the City for more fascinating explorations into urban histories from around the globe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep exploring the echoes of your own city.